Now let's talk some Florida Gators recruiting, because the Gators are hot. They flipped linebacker Ty Jackson. Then it was Muiz Tunkara. Then it was Jahari Medlock. Then it was Byron Lewis. Then it was Jaden Woods. Then on Saturday, it was Tavares Dice. Somebody stop me. Gators inside the top 20 in the On3 industry rankings, and there still could be more to come. Steve, the Gators, they kind of did the reverse of last year. They got out of the gates real hot last year and faded away to the end. Now they started slow, but are nearly unstoppable in the last 10, 20 days. I think that kind of coincides with the Billy Napier vote of confidence, would you say?
Yeah, they're in the top 15 right now on the recruiting trail. They're trying to flip Onis Konanbani, a defensive back currently committed to Tennessee. Obviously, they're still swinging at Dallas Wilson. They should be commended for even getting Dallas Wilson on campus.
Yes.
He's been committed to Oregon for like 2 years. And I don't know. Look, if Oregon signs Dallas Wilson, whatever the secret recipe was for having a player committed on the other side of the country for 2 years, and he took just 3 visits, and he's
Steve, how many visit lists was Dallas Wilson on heading into the weekend this year?
Well, he was on a lot of them. Every week he was on one of them, and he only visited Florida the one time for the win over LSU, right?
Incredible.
So, right. But I'm not going to celebrate it for Oregon until he signs his paper.
Right. Till it crosses the finish line. Yeah.
We've just covered recruiting too long, but it's man, they've done a good job of holding it down. Obviously, they got Naeem offered on campus. They tried to give him a lot to think about on an official visit. Jamie French, Myron Charles, those are major targets for them down the stretch, and it's hard to bet against them. I'm not saying all these guys are going to flip, man, but they've gone out and flipped good players from good schools here at the end. All these recruits love Billy Napier, love the staff. They just weren't sure if they were going to be around. Could Florida even have a surprise or two next year on the trail? Guys we're not even talking about, but guys that had visited multiple times in the past, I wouldn't put it past them. They're going to be fun to follow down the stretch. They're going into the postseason on a 3-game winning streak. They're similar to Michigan, right? In the sense that they have the support of the school, support in the infrastructure standpoint, resources, and now there's momentum, and their staff does a good job of recruiting and building real relationships with kids too.
I also think the confidence in the quarterback, right? I think that goes a long way. I think recruits understand these days there's not a whole lot that you can count on, except when you have a great quarterback in place. You can kind of say, okay, he's going to definitely be there for another year or two. And I kind of feel like the catalyst for both UF and Michigan getting hot was, UF a little different. It was DJ Lagway starting and getting implemented into the game plan once Graham Mertz went down. And Michigan a little different. I mean, it was getting Bryce Underwood, but guys want to play alongside a great quarterback. And I think that's why you're seeing Jamie French and Dallas Wilson and even like a Solomon Thomas who plays offensive line. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of this buzz is created by DJ Lagway.
Yeah, obviously, when you have that franchise piece, the reigning Gatorade National Player of the Year, that's someone that the Florida coaching staff can point to, but also someone the recruits can see themselves and say, look, they can win a lot of games with guys like that. DJ Lagway is the most impactful recruit that Florida's landed since Tim Tebow. I mean, he's got a chance to get them back to that stage in college football with his talent and just who he is as a leader and a person. So he's guys that people like being around, gravitate to. And when they're on campus, Will Griffin talked about spending the whole day with DJ Lagway, their 2026 quarterback commit back during his process. So he's approachable. He's helping land players. He's shown flashes in his true freshman season that he can be a big-time player. He's had some big-time performances, and certainly a guy you can build around and why people have faith in him and the Florida program.
Yeah. I remember covering Tim Tebow. I was at the Nice State Finals game when Tim Tebow was a senior in high school. So it's been a while since they've really had a signal caller in place that rallies the troops that way. And you're right, DJ Lagway seems like he can do that. We'll see what happens tonight. It looks like Florida is going to beat Florida State and going to impress some of these recruits. So Florida Gator fans, get in the chat. Talk to us about this top 20 class. Is it going to finish top 15? Could it finish top 10? I mean, there's a path for that to happen, but do you think it will? Let me know. Comment section below.